good, world? I'm your man, Lil Wayne. Did y'all miss me? I'm back with another season of Young Money Radio. Young Moolah, baby. Let's go. Hey, Young Money Radio continues. All right, you already know I'm your host, Lil Wayne. That's me. And today on Young Money Radio, I have none other than the motherfucking GOAT, Tony Hawk. Yeah, put some motherfucking respect on that, Nick. My motherfucking brother, we already know, we've established that. I already told y'all, the man put me on the game. I remember my kids calling me like, Dad, you on the game? yeah, like I told you, I could be two of them. That was then, though. They probably got me now. Being the first real celebrity skater, did that come with pressure to represent something bigger than just you?
Yeah, but I didn't know it at the time. I mean, things were wild, especially when our video game got released. And suddenly there was just, people just knew my name.
Exactly.
Like, you know, not just associated with skateboarding, but associated with video games.
Yeah.
And I was getting invited to all these different events and talk shows, and it was wild. And at some point I was like, oh, these people don't know anything about skateboarding.
Exactly.
And it's up to me to explain it and to represent it realistically.
Yeah.
I mean, and fairly, you know, and like, it was weird because I'm already, you know, like the video game was released, like you said, that was 31.
Yeah.
Like I was already old for a skater, and I was a vert skater. So it was like, this dude, like this old vert skater is going to represent us. And I felt that, but at the same time, I was happy to, because I love I embraced skating for all of it, you know, hopping fences and for the renegade aspect. I mean, I did it because it set me apart from my schoolmates and my peers and people who played traditional sports. And I love that's what it was. And it was the culture and the music and everything else. And so when I had a chance to be a spokesperson, I embraced it.
Reminds me of kind of those commercials the Big Hurt and Doug Flutie do, like when they do those commercials and the people walk in and they say, oh, you're the guy from those commercials. They don't know that they actually Hall of Fame.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. And speaking of the vert now, when I started skating, when I would go to parks, we would have those parks set up while I'm on tour. We would have different parks set up. So I'm hitting a different
You're the
park.
after hours king.
I'm hitting a different park, but I'm getting different opinions and different aspects and different perspectives every night. And of course, I would bring up your name, and I have never heard no one, and you know they know how to, you know they're gonna separate people when that's just a verse skate. Now he just do it. There's no separation.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's no separation when it comes to Tony. Like when we talk about Tony, period. Also, another thing, when I first started skating, I thought that was skating because of you. I didn't know nothing about street skating.
Oh, you mean just ramp skating? Yeah.
Yeah. So first thing I did was call my homie from J Ramps. Say I want to ramp. So that helped me learn how to. So the first thing I learned how to do was skate vert. So once I started skating street, of course, I knew a few things already. I know how to drop in. I know how to do this and I do. So it was actually very helpful.
I think so. I think if you have a healthy balance of that in the beginning, but if you just lean in on vert in the beginning, like you can tell a vert skater,
yes, you can,
when he does a kickflip on flat.
Yes, you can.
Like it's clunky.
Yes.
It doesn't, you know, it's got not a lot of flip. I'm speaking from experience here. And so it's better to really keep your toe in the water of street skating too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
some people can blend it.
Yeah, you got people like Curran.
Oh, yeah. Current, or like the OG Colin McKay.
Yes.
Colin McKay started doing street tricks on vert and changed the game.
Beyond crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can see now, and even in the vert competitions now, there are things that's added to that competition. That was you never
super
seen
tech.
that. Yeah, you never seen that there.
Yeah.
All right, so did you ever imagine skateboarding would blow up like this?
No. Never. It was just never. When I was a kid, it wasn't cool. It was the furthest thing from cool you could do. Like you know, in the hierarchy of our high school, it was like jocks, nerds, and then skaters fell way off. And I used to hide my skateboard. Like I used to hide it in high school. I would skate to school because I didn't ride the bus, and then I would hide it in the bushes. Because if I carried it through campus, I would get harassed.
Talk about you, yeah.
And that was when I was on the verge of being a pro. Like it just didn't matter.
Wow, if that don't mean skating has come a long way, I don't know what does. Come on, man. Man was hiding the board He was hiding.
Oh
his
yeah,
board.
no, I mean, we know it now. It's known as bullying, but I just back then you got picked on.
Yeah.
I got picked on.
Yeah.
For being a skater.
So I remember when scooters came out when I was a kid, right? When it just came out, the scooters, whole hood, everybody in the hood is going up to. No one wanted a bike that Christmas. Everyone wanted a scooter. My mom, I want a scooter too. She was trying to be creative, so she found a scooter that had a bike wheel in the front, but it was
I've seen that.
Skateboard with two skateboard wheels at the back.
But not a lot of tricks you can do on that one.
Can't go fast either. You can't go fast, so that right there is, I guess that was my start with the skateboard.
Well, then you probably got bullied just for your gear.
Just for my thing, yeah. And also because I couldn't keep up.
Right.
Yeah, once they started racing and all that, I'd go get my bike. Yeah. Now, after finding success so young, what made you keep pushing?
Well, I guess it wasn't even about success. I just wanted to keep getting better at skating. Like that was always the priority.
Right.
So I had nominal success when I was a kid. Prize money. When I turned pro, like the first contest I ever turned pro at, first place was $100. Second was 75, and third was 50. I got fourth. So you were never getting into it for the money. And so success, that was, to be honest, that was weird. Like when I started actually making money, I was 16, 17 when I started making pretty decent money, especially from competitions and board sales. And I didn't think I was choosing a career. I just was like, oh, this is sick.
It's cool. I'm getting,
like I can take my friends to Hawaii. I can buy a car.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing.
From skating.
From skating, yeah.
I get it. I kind of felt when I asked you the question, when I said after finding success so young, what made you keep pushing? Me knowing the skate world, that would be. You
just got to keep trying.
It's all about just getting better.
All
anyway.
that stuff is incidental.
Yeah, exactly.
And I learned very quickly that it can fall away.
And it's still kind of new.
In an instant. But like when I was 23, 24, all of a sudden the bottom just fell out of the industry. My royalties were just getting cut in half every month, and it was like, oh, this isn't forever.
Yeah, it happened after COVID. For a lot of skaters. Yeah, a lot of kids had big sponsor deals, and they had to cut them. We can't use you.
I mean, it's been wild, but really I think that was sort of the bottom of the popularity cycle, like 91, 92.
Yeah.
But that's when everyone took to the street, and that became the evolution that you see today.
Yes. Now, you have major injuries. Now, how do you push through that mentally, and like, what's your recovery mindset?
I guess I just learned early on that was part of the game.
It's part of it.
Yeah, like the first time I ever got hurt, I knocked out my front teeth, got a concussion, woke up in the ambulance. They're calling my parents, and my first thought wasn't like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm never going to skate again. My first thought was like, man,
when can I get back on my board?
I got to learn rock and rolls better. And so through the years, through a lot of pretty traumatic injuries, it was more like, it was more of a nuisance. Now there's a pause in my action. When can I get back there?
I know that.
And I'm willing to endure the pain to get back to it. I don't want to get hurt. Like, that's not a death wish or anything.
Trust me, I know.
But it's just like, more recently, I broke my femur. That was the worst one, for sure.
It sounded like it.
Like 3 years ago, and I fucked around and found out that you can't just keep doing McTwists into your 50s like there's nothing. That was a hard lesson, but I think the most valuable one that I had was that I got to accept that I can still do this at a professional level, but not be at the top tier and not keep pushing and keep challenging fate and risk. And it was just like, now I've landed in a place where I still skate good, still learning some tricks, but I'm not doing big spins. Yeah. I'm not high impact.
Exactly.
Like my neck sucks. Yeah. Like I don't want it to be any worse.
Now you said I was never trying to be the next Tony Hawk. I was just trying to be myself. With all the wins coming so early, pro by 9, blowing up by 14, how did you stay grounded through that rise?
I still, it's hard to explain. Skating was such a small circle of people, especially in the early 80s, that you are already an outcast, right? if you chose to skate, like you were kind of shunned from mainstream society, from whatever, like my classmates and whatever else.
Especially out
That's
here.
fine.
Especially out here.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, well, this is my scene. Yeah. But then my style of skating, even though I was learning tricks, wasn't considered cool. And it was more trick oriented. They called it robotic. So now I'm an outcast on this island of misfits of skateboarding. So it was more like, I just learned to push through because I loved it too much. And I think that helped me, as much as I felt isolated, it helped me to persevere and to believe in myself way more through the years. Yeah. And especially like and then I had success and it's like, oh, he's a fucking sellout and is this just like, dude, I've heard it all.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm still doing this. And here I am in my late 50s.
Still doing it. Yeah. That's for the ones that said whatever you heard. We still doing it.
Yes.
Now, were you able to actually enjoy the moment, or was it all moving too fast? Like, if you had the chance to run it back, what would you do differently?
If I had the chance to run it back, I would enjoy the camaraderie more. I was so hyper focused on skating and getting better. Yeah. And then at some point, my sponsors expected the most of me from competitions because I was leading the competitive circuit. Mm-hmm. So it just became like I was a machine. And I'd go to the contest, I'd hide new tricks, practice all day, then I'd come in with a strategy, and it was just like, and that was sucking the fun out of it. Yeah. And so if I could run it back, I would have just took more chances and had more fun with all the people around. Because I do see videos of all the skaters back then, Grosso and Lance and everyone, and they're having so much fun. And then you just see me on the deck, like laser focused, like I gotta make all the tricks.
Exactly how you always.
Yeah.
I thought that was just you, man.
Well, it was kind of how I had to be to have that success, and that wasn't the most important thing.
We made it through though, like you said. We're still here. And we're still having fun.
See, I'm having way more fun than I've ever had on my skateboard.
The 50 video at the barracks.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Thank you. Come on, man. That was hard. That was a rough one.
I went back to the barracks after that, and it was, that gave me some motivation.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that gave me some motivation right there. Now, describe the energy at those earlier competitions when you were coming up with a different intensity, passion versus now.
Well, I thought it meant everything. Like back then, I thought, and it did, because that was the only way you could get a sponsor
and also to show the world what it's about.
Right, but also, but like if you wanted to have any success in skateboarding, there's no social media. You're not getting the cover of Thrasher. If you did some big trick, you had to win. And so I wanted to be in skateboarding, and that was the route you had to take. Yeah. So I played the game.
How would you describe the energy at your first X Games?
Oh, the first X Games was weird. Because the first one was like 95. They called it the Extreme Games.
Yeah, I remember.
It was bungee jumping and rock climbing and sky surfing. And, it was just like, they were just throwing everything out there to see what stuck. And a lot of it felt experimental. Yeah. We were already established as far as I was concerned. You know what I mean? But we had been kind of underground for a while in terms of media coverage. So I was excited. I mean, honestly, more selfishly, I was excited because my dad, he had just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. He loved ESPN. Like ESPN was, it was the leader in sports. But I mean, he loved sports. He loved ESPN. He loved skateboarding, but he never understood why skateboarding just never really broke through. Yeah. My dad got to see skateboarding on ESPN before he passed away, beautiful. And that was huge.
Beautiful.
So for me, it was a big deal. And also I felt like, we can cut through this noise and this nonsense. You know what I mean? Because skateboarding at its core is difficult and exciting. And I feel like, there's all this other weird stuff going on, but people might zero in on what we're doing if we represent ourselves well.
Properly.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah. I think it...
through the years. I mean, so then you fast forward to
now.
Or fast forward to like 5 years later, 99, 2000 X Games, it was popping. It was crazy.
Straight.
It was like the highlight.
And it was also about that. It wasn't about the rock climbing and all that.
But it was about the action and not the hairdos and the crazy graphics. And it was like, oh my God, like all that stuff.
Sal would always host them.
Salema's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the voice of X Games.
Now, what does it take to go pro now compared to when you were coming up, and what new challenges do today's skaters face that you didn't?
Well, it's just a sea of talent. So to rise above it, you got to do something truly special.
Yeah.
Either
social media,
either through competition or through social media. You know, you could be as much of a personality as you are a good skater, and that could cut through the noise. I think it's just you got to have a brand. You know, I hate that whole idea. You got to be an influencer. You got to have a brand, but you can have a very specific style of skating, and if no one else can really touch it, that'll rise above.
What's the? It made me think of little Aisa. Right?
Oh, Raisa, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, the whole thing started with the heel flip in a tutu.
With the tutu.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was.
That was it.
About.
And I didn't know her name, but I reposted it myself.
Exactly.
I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but I love it.
That's beautiful. Exactly.
Now she's the best female street skater.
I remember she hit the barracks for when she first came down to the country, to America for the first time. There's clips of her skating the barracks, but you don't hear no one.
Right.
So you don't. And I thought they do for me. I thought, you know, when she came in late, no one's there. You know, it's just, you know, like, and it's usually just me and my crew there.
But they just didn't know who she was back
when
then.
She landed a trick. You hear everybody. I was like, wait. And when you see the camera pan, it's packed. Homies was all, everybody had their boys up watching.
Oh yeah, because they can't
quiet.
touch it.
Yeah, that's why I was like that girl.
But I mean, that was still pretty early on in her career too. So like they were recognizing something special when she was super young, and then she came into her own.
When she was young, I locked in too.
Yeah, but when she came into her own, I mean, she's like the biggest sports star in Brazil
right now. Yeah, she's
for
ridiculous.
Real. Yeah.
Now, how do you define the future of skateboarding? Speaking of Raisa.
Oh man, it's I think it's an open book. I think that skateboarding is here to stay. Mm-hmm. I think that it's crossed so many barriers.
So many. Age,
race, gender, income equality. Like it really is this proving ground and this community like no other.
Now, when you spoke on your father and you said how he watched ESPN so much, and then all of a sudden it finally, you know, skating ended up on ESPN. He got to see that.
Yeah.
Speaks to the question I just asked you. I'm watching. I love the way Rihanna do. She has a clothing line. Mm-hmm. The way she presents her new line or whatever, she does it real dramatic. She does a whole bunch of artists are going to perform, and it's basically you're watching a damn near a show. So I'm sitting there watching it, right? You usually want to see who's going to be the next person, who's going to be the next person. They get to the street, and you hear you already hear, we know the sound.
Yeah.
I'm like, she got skaters in that shit? And it's Niger.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
of course it's Niger.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how that felt. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this. I didn't turn this on to see skating. I didn't expect skating.
That's how much it's infiltrated.
That's how much it's exactly.
Culture. But it's always been there. I mean, just like hip hop, it's been there, but it just never really broke through. And then all of a sudden when it broke through, it's everywhere.
But to see it on like that platform, she puts so many different things on that platform.
Yeah, yep.
And to see Nigel on there, man, I was beyond elated.
That's pretty cool.
Come on, man, what?
That's pretty cool.
I probably went and skated that whole night. Now, as far as gaming, you were the first skater to ever have a video game franchise. Thinking back to the release of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, did you ever imagine it would become what it is today?
No. Honestly, I thought I was excited to work on a game.
Yeah.
First and foremost, where it was like, really, I get to help design a skateboard game? Because the only thing we had prior to that was 720, Skate or Die, California Games. Yeah. They were working on Thrasher, Skate and Destroy, but it was all in the same timeline, kind of. So we were just sort of on our own, and Activision just gave us free reign to do whatever. And so I was working with Neversoft, and we're just throwing, I just wanted to represent skateboarding well. My end goal was to inspire a skater to buy a PlayStation. I was like, that's my mark of success. Right. Yeah. And so we're putting everything in there that we wanted to make it authentic. So the music, the skaters, if you look at the roster of the original game, everyone's still a pro skater. Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's amazing that there's that much longevity, but also the spots, the tricks. It was more like, this represents skating well. I like it, and if it doesn't sell, we did something cool.
Let me tell you how legendary, when you said the spots, let me tell you how legendary this game is. I can't remember what birthday it was, but I went to Barcelona for one of my birthdays, and I took my mom, and we had it set up to where she was just there for the first week, and then she'd go back because the next week was only for me, and that was my skate.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
And so
PCN.
I hit Barcelona up, but that was, of course, I'm out there in Barcelona, I'm looking for one spot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go to that spot that's on Tony Hawk game with all the graffiti. And I found it, and I landed a 180 shove off of like two little ledges, and we went out there like 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. I probably landed around 5. That no one bothered us. Mm-hmm. There were like 4 or 5 groups of people out there. No one said nothing to us the whole time. When I landed that trick, Tony, everyone, they ran toward me so much to my security guy. He ran over there. He didn't know what was going on. He was like, hold up. That's just
that was your racer moment.
That's the community of skating, man. That's skating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's skating.
Yeah, I that's what I try to. I mean, if I can ever convey anything, especially to a more mainstream audience, it's that if you look at skating in its core, like go to a skate park right now, like right in this moment, you see people of all ages, all races, all genders, all skill levels,
and all supportive.
And yeah, and there's be like a top pro is at a skate park with an absolute beginner, and they're having just as much fun.
Reminds me of comedy. Like when you could go to those comedy clubs out here and you go around and see Martin Lawrence get up there when you're just going to check out your friend. You know what I mean? So,
let me grab that. Hold on, I got something.
Yeah, exactly.
But also everyone rallies around someone trying something new.
It's so supportive.
That's what's amazing.
Man. That's why I have never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely, like the community of skating is absolutely amazing. Like I'm not sure, other than injury and you can't get back on your board, other than that, a skater never has a bad day. Unless you don't land your trick. But you still know you can go back tomorrow and security puts you out. You just got to know the time. You know?
Luckily I got my own terrain, so I never get kicked out.
This guy. I still get kicked out, Tony.
I do know the value of having a recognizable name in not getting a ticket.
When they see me though, and they when they see me, they wait, you really do this? That's the first thing. They're like, we really kicking you out right now? They're like, go ahead, get 2 more tries. You know what I mean? Give me a few more tries.
Those are the perks.
Now, when that global spotlight hit, what was the most surprising part of the fame?
That people started to embrace skateboarding and understood it at all. I mean, the idea that you can go out and say, do a kickflip, and most people know what you're talking about, that is insane to me. Right? Like, I was there when kickflips were invented by Rodney Mullen. I watched it happen. We couldn't figure out how he flipped it, so we called it a magic flip.
Yes.
But no one cared.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we cared. That was kind of cool. Exactly. I remember, like, learning kickflips in my driveway. There to no accolades, no applause.
Now it is an accolade.
I mean, now it's like it's almost expected, right?
Like what I mean by that is people who don't skate. They would,
it's a milestone.
If they put a list of their accolades in life, they'll put that in there. Trust me. Yes, I learned how to kick flip. You know what I mean? You know how many artists and musicians I've been around that know I skate. Yeah. And the first thing they want to show me that they know how to do is a kick flip. Like, okay, I see. Cool. I don't know.
I mean, just that alone shows how far it's come.
Exactly. Now, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 drops this summer. What's 3 plus 4?
Yeah.
What that mean?
It's a remake of 3 and 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. With some new surprises in there.
Okay. Now, what are you most excited for in this release? Like, what are some of the new features or the surprises fans should watch for?
Oh, man. Well, I'm just excited that we even still get to do video games, to be honest. And once we released 1 and 2, that was in 2020. It didn't seem like 3 and 4 was going to happen. You know, there were a bunch of hurdles that we had to overcome, and the group that made 1 and 2 got disbanded, and there was just all these challenges. And then I'll never forget, I got the call from Activision head, and it's like, I think we found the studio to do 3 and 4, and I was like, we're really doing it.
Fuck yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And now we're pretty close. You know, it's going to be released this summer. I can't say much about it, but it's the best of 3. It's the best of 4 and new stuff that I think people were going to be pleasantly surprised about.
That's what's up. Shout out to my sons. Y'all already know I'm gonna get a head start on y'all on this game. Y'all already know I'm ready for whatever. And they older now, so we could bet. So now for a lot of fans, your game was the first intro to them. For them, that was their intro to skating. People were landing tricks in the game before they could even try them in real life, like me. Did you think it would have that type of impact?
No, well, not at all. No, I mean, I hoped. I hoped that people would play it. What I hoped was maybe someone will find this game that's a gamer and enjoy it, and it'll inspire them to skate. Like
Gotcha.
that would have been amazing to me. That happened, but that happened, over and over and
Exactly.
over. And I think the most surprising part of that to me is that the tricks that people were able to do in the game, the combos, the ledge tricks, like you nollie kickflip, crooked grind, and flip in, flip out, all this stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
That was just, we put that in there because it was fantastical. It was like, this would be amazing, but you can't do it in real life.
Exactly.
There's a literal generation of skaters that
trying to
grew up doing that,
exactly,
playing the game, and now they do that. I mean, you're talking about Nyjah and Shane O'Neill, like
Yuto,
Reza, Yuto, like they grew up thinking that stuff's possible because they did it in a video game.
Yes.
That's been the most wild aspect of it all to me, and even in the vert and the mega and stuff, we're doing 900 variations in the game. Where I tried for years to do an Indy 900. I could not do it, right? And now people are doing fakey to fakey Indy 900, doing 1080s.
Exactly.
Mitchie's done a 1260. Like, it's wild.
A 1260.
1260.
And that's the Mitchie Brusco. He did that. Okay, I thought it was the little kid. What didn't the little kid do?
Emma, he did 1080.
He did a 1080.
Yep.
Okay, come on, man. How could your body spin that many times in the air without? And they don't. And they're not. When we say this, if you don't know it, if you don't know anything about it, when they land, they're not landing on flat. This trick is being done in the air to land back
on vertical,
to land back vertical. And then, come on. You hear what I just said? The trick is being done in the air to land back vertical. The English on that just, yeah. The original games had legends like Kareem Campbell and Steve Caballero. Shout out to the guys. Can you talk about some of the new generation of skaters like Chloe Covell and Zion Wright?
I try to pick people who have unique talent, but also have a unique look, because we're talking about a lot of different characters here. And that it's well rounded, it's diverse, it covers all styles and all types of people, and so I'm super proud. I think the lineup's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think people will be excited to see the roster, and also that they'll see these people, and then the next thing you know, they'll see them on Street League.
Exactly.
Or they'll see them in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I played them on Tony Hawk. Like, that's sick.
What you feel about skating being in the Olympics? How you like that?
I think it's about time.
Exactly.
I mean, like, skateboarding's been around longer than snowboarding.
It has.
And it has all the makings of an Olympic sport, just in terms of being subjective, being exciting,
being diverse,
yeah.
People didn't know that they had that much diversity in skating. They didn't know. Of course, I knew they didn't know that.
Just there's part of me that's just like, well, it's about time they figured it out.
Yeah.
And we didn't need their validation.
Exactly.
It helps to grow the sport internationally, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like, they needed our cool factor in the summer games more than we needed them to be. But what they really need is vert. Yeah. That's what I'm campaigning for. Okay. I'm trying to get vert in LA.
Come on, man.
Park is amazing, but we're only seeing 540s in the park.
540s and stuff. Yeah, you want to see that 1260.
Well, sure.
You want to see that 1260.
Even a 720.
It's the Olympics.
Yeah.
I could imagine if they.
It should be.
I could imagine if they implicate vert, they'll start having their own competitions for things like that, because it's the Olympics.
Yeah, I hope so.
You know what I mean? Like, what can you? How high can you go, man?
Yeah, right.
How many times can you spin?
High air, best trick. Like, come on.
Exactly. Now, before there was YouTube, the Bones Brigade videos gave skateboard fans a better look into the world you guys created. Do you think you guys pioneered a lot of the sports content created now?
I would credit Stacy Peralta with that.
Okay.
Stacy Peralta was the one who wanted to make skate videos right when videotapes came out. Like when home videos just started, he started making skate videos. And people started buying them for VCRs. I mean, he was a pioneer in that whole movement. So I credit him. I mean, and also the idea that he wanted to create this feature-length movie about us, chasing this mythical character. Like, we didn't get it. I mean, we were in because we trusted Stacy, but we didn't know we're not actors.
You didn't know that it was going to be what it became.
Oh, no. I mean, I never knew that it would be endlessly quoted.
Yeah, it's the Holy Grail, just so you know. Just so you know.
I look at it, it's fun. And I'm still skating with those guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Cab and McGill are at my ramp all the time. Lance is still skating backyard pools. Rodney is still skating at midnight. Tommy's still cruising. It's wild.
I probably know that thing word for word. And I can't get on, I'm known, people know me for being known for forgetting my lyrics, my own lyrics. I know Bones Brigade word for word. It's a movie. Now, you mentioned before being heavily involved in the game soundtrack. What are some of the new artist songs that you're excited for players to discover on the new game?
Oh, man. Well, we got... I'm not sure what's been announced, so I can't really say. I mean, in terms of the sort of punk vibe.
Y'all have a soundtrack?
Soundtrack, yeah. Well, they've been releasing bands that are included, songs that are included in waves. So they've done 2 waves of it, and I don't remember exactly what has been announced.
Crazy.
But I would say in terms of the punk genre, we got Fontaine DC from Ireland.
That's crazy.
We got Idols.
What game has music and bands connected to? What game has that other than?
Or that people hold so much importance of it.
Yeah,
where it's I'm not playing that. They don't. They don't have that Public Enemy song. I'm not playing it. It's a whole new world. You can play what you want,
exactly.
but we're very proud of the soundtrack.
I was talking to my little bro Twist about music and games, and we was talking about when I didn't know what the game. I didn't know too much about the game Fortnite, and but I knew Travis Scott was on it.
Yeah,
I knew. So he wanted to show me what that was. So I was like, "What this is?"
He has a skin.
Yeah, it was like this is crazy.
My son Keegan played Fortnite from the get-go, and he told me recently that he sent an email to Fortnite company saying, "You should consider my dad for a skin." And I was like, "Wow, thank you, Keegan."
Sure should. Come on, man. And consider me right next to Tony if you do.
Yeah,
please.
I mean, we're here.
We're here.
Hello.
Yeah.
We
got skin, baby. Now take me back to 1999. What's on Tony's playlist before he hit X Games and breaking the record with the 900? What songs was Motive? What songs were Motive? Because y'all always listening.
It was all old school punk. I mean, that was my contribution to the game. So when you talk about Dead Kennedys, Circle Jerks, Black Flag, Joy Division, even, all that was what I grew up listening to. Gotcha. That was the sound of the skate park. X, Agent Orange, and so when I got to do a game, I was like, let's throw all this music in there.
Right.
I'm sure the bands would be agreeable. That no one's really
that was crazy.
Knocking on their door right now.
That was crazy. Yeah. Now the music and skating, the music history. Let me tell you something funny. So when you put a video part out, for people who don't know, when you put a video part out, one of the most important things is the song.
Oh yeah.
That is one of the most important things. What song are you skating to? And I heard that for years, that you could never use a Cash Money song, a Lil Wayne song, because we wouldn't clear it. And so Alex Midler. And so Alex told me that. I didn't know this whole thing. Alex was like, yeah, man, bro, y'all never clear.
Oh, man.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I skate. I'm me. I skate. I clear everything. And so he was like, man, you guys, so he was to where it's actually a thing that Niger had my song for his for one of those big parts he had put out. Like that was I think it was Rise and Shine. I think that was a big thing that he was able to use. So I was like, come on, man, I do not want that to be a thing. I'm clearing every song. That is not about to be no thing. You can't use a Lil Wayne. Nah, that's not gonna happen.
That's super cool of you. Yes,
Yeah.
and I have experience myself with trying to clear stuff. The most difficult for me was RZA, and I finally found an email that might have been to him directly, and just kind of pleaded my case, and we got it cleared.
Yeah. That's what's up. Shout out RZA for clearing that. I'm clearing everything just so the homies know. Now, how has being a dad changed you, and what differences have you noticed in yourself?
Actually, I've been a dad so long that I'm a granddad now.
I'm done.
He's 7 months old, and it is
beautiful.
the most fun. I get why people gush about being grandparents. It is the most fun you can possibly have with raising a child, just because you get to do the fun stuff.
That's awesome.
You get to only be the fun go-to. And
you ain't gotta be
when he
that.
comes to our house, his face lights up. He's like, "Oh, I own this place.
Yeah.
This is fun times."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It sounds wonderful, but I definitely can wait.
You can wait.
Yeah, I can wait. It sounds amazing.
You will enjoy it eventually.
But I can wait.
But what did it change? Well, at first it changed me in terms of suddenly feeling like, oh, I have to really make this work. I have to make a living. I have to provide.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't even about, oh, I can't take risks. It was like, I got to take more risks now. And as I gotten older, obviously, and now I'm a grandparent, I want to be around for them. So I'm taking it a little bit easier.
I get it. Now, how do you balance everything, though? The Hawk brand plus personal life. Give us the day in the life of Tony Hawk these days.
Man. I try to keep a healthy balance of home time, and if I have to travel, I try to get everything done all at once. You know, for instance, I had to do appearance at a gaming expo in Arizona last weekend. I'm just in, do the thing, I'm out. You know, I'm not sightseeing, I'm not hanging out. And then on a day like today, we had our grandchild in the morning. We helped to, babysit, and then hit the road, drove up here to LA, met you. I'm going to go have dinner with a couple of our kids from here because two of them live in LA.
That's cool.
And I'm heading home. So that's like a family day. Like you've inspired a kind of a family day.
That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the motherfucking GOAT.
Thank you, sir.
Tony Hawk.
I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate
Thanks,
you,
Wayne.
man.